welcome. Um, welcome to a new video. Today, I have a topic I want to get into. It's Disneyland versus California, which is a very interesting topic with all sorts of issues surrounding it. In March of last year, I think it was like the 10th, I'm not 100% sure, Disney had announced that they had a waiver from the federal government in which they could stay open during the pandemic. Probably for economy purposes. Probably to strengthen the economy, blah, blah, blah. Then, an hour later, they decided that they were going to close the next day. And we are in the middle of January of 2021, and they have not opened. And it seems as if that's not going to happen until at least probably June of 2021. That's what people are saying right now. And I'm going to explain to you what needs to happen before you can open Disneyland. Okay? Alright, so back in July, Downtown Disney opened. For those of you who don't know, who are unfamiliar, Downtown Disney is the city walk of Disneyland. That's the best way of phrasing it. It's got restaurants, it's got shops, that's pretty much it. You don't have to have a park admission to go there. And so they opened that in July. They had originally thought of opening the park in July, but that subsided when they did not get government approval to do so. Then they opened California event. They opened Downtown Disney, and it was a success, a major success. It went really, really well for them, and so then in I think it was October or November, something like that, they then decided to open the Buena Vista Street area of California Adventure for restaurants, for eating and shopping. Now, week later, we get the stay-at-home order in California, and the dining is banned. You can't eat anywhere. You have to have everything that you buy to eat, every restaurant that you go to, the food has to be consumed at your home. So once they did that, they were unable to stay. Once they were able to do that, and then obviously they can no longer sell. They can't have food on property. They can't sell food on property, nor can there be food eaten on property. They can't. That was Disney's idea. That was not. That part about property was not. That was not government inflicted. That was Disney being a warrior and get shut down. So they came up with this wonky idea to try to stay in business. That's what happened. Okay. And so in October, we get there were the messages out there saying, well, that the governor was going to issue guidelines onto how to open theme parks. He was going to issue them, and that we were going to it was going to change somehow, and that whatever. Now, that didn't happen, okay? Because unbeknownst to most people, the governor does not want Disneyland to open. Now, there are a number of reasons why that would happen, okay? There's a number of reasons why the governor would not want that to happen. It's anything right now, any crowds of any kind are seen as super spreaders. So that's number one. Number two, they just cannot come to an agreement, okay, on what the safe protocols would be. Now, this is an issue when we leave these things up to government. We leave these things up to people who have no idea how to operate a theme park. I'm sure that if Gavin Newsom opened a theme park right now, he'd have no idea what the fuck he was doing, and he would fail at it, okay? Because that's not the business he chose to be in. He's a politician for a reason, because that's what he chose. So this whole coronavirus bullshit in California is all about how do we get our government leaders to understand things that they would not normally would be a part of, okay? That being theme parks, how to start having concerts, how to start, these are things that, these are business sectors that the government has no oversight on, right? They never have, until we magically get a virus from China that comes to America, and all the governments are, and our whole entire country is wondering what the fuck to do. So it's very unlikely that we will see Disneyland Resort opening at full capacity until at least June, okay? They are having a hell of a time in our country with the vaccine. Partly it's because of the way they're rolling it out. They're not giving it to enough people at a time. They've limited it to certain sectors at a time, and certain people, certain conditions at a time, and that's partly their fault. But there is an idea that we probably don't have the amount that we need anyway, which we probably don't, because Trump really didn't want to invest in that. He really didn't want to make this go faster because he didn't see the risk anyway, and so it was unlikely that he would ever change on that stance. And so here we are. It's the middle of January 2021. We've been dealing with fucking shit for almost 12 months, folks, okay? And it doesn't look as if it's going to change, honestly, because people don't want to wear masks. Look, I don't either, okay? But if I'm going to go out, I have to, or my sister will kill me. So I have to, okay? She graduated, she went to school for public health, okay? She's gonna kill me. Anyway, it just seems so unlikely that this country can get back on its feet again. And it's not just COVID. It's the idea that we had a president who's a narcissist, who's dangerous, and everything in between, who did not care about the well-being of our country and the economy, who had the governments put in policy that everybody knew was going to kill the economy, okay? You put stay-at-home orders and capacity restrictions, and it's restrictions on whether a business can open or not. Those three things I just laid out for you are killers of the economy. I just laid them out for you. And if this country wants the economy to get back then you have to somehow extinguish this virus from our lives. I don't know how the hell you would do this. I did not study public health, but I can tell you one thing, okay? Wear a fucking mask, folks. I mean, really. Is it comfortable? Fuck no. But that's what you have to do if you are, if you want any sense of normalcy to come back in your life at any time soon whatsoever. Especially where I live, where everybody's a pansy and they just want to, think, and they want to be so like, oh my god, no, absolutely not. So this whole coronavirus thing is a lot of it's bogus, but there are some truth to it, and the truths outweigh the bogus, and we just have to understand that. So I'm going to, explain that to you that, Disney is not going to reopen until at least June, okay? Maybe even longer, maybe even September, because, excuse me, because they cannot be accused of being a super spreader, okay? And they are not going to be able to open under the tier system that has been implemented within the state of California. There's no way that they can operate. Absolutely no way. So until they can operate, they excuse me, I have a frog in my throat and I can't get rid of it. They will not be able to operate the way they want to at all. And so until that happens, we will not have Disneyland. We will not. Because Disneyland is not, regardless of what you and me and everybody believes, a lot of people believe, Disneyland is not essential to our lives. It feels like it is, because we've all invested so much time there and money there, okay? So it feels like it's essential in our lives, but it's actually not. Is it hard without it? Yes. Do we feel like a little bit of us a little piece of us has died because of it? Yes. Is there issues? Yes. But until this virus goes away, whenever that is, Disneyland cannot operate the way it wants to. Okay? It's never going to happen, because we have a governor who's unwilling to back down. We have hospitals that are overrun, that are just dead at this point. We've got body bags and we got bodies in the streets. We've got, it just isn't that simple right now. And so to say that Disneyland should open, see, look, I want them to open. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying they would get so much backlash. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. They get backlash. It's not worth it. We all know it's not worth it. Okay? So let's just be done with this conversation. So, it's just not right. And our governor is a two-faced liar. He tried to tell people that he went to a party at French Laundry, and I'll never forgive him for it for as long as I live. I just won't, because I feel like he did these things as knowing that how it would look in the public eye. He didn't care, because politicians don't care about you or me. A lot of them don't. Some do, but most don't. They don't care about how I feel. They care about how you feel. We have to have the virus in order to be cared for, because that's just what it is. We have to have the virus in order for people to care about us. We have to have somewhat. We have to have suffered. You have to have suffering that they can understand, that fits with their agendas, before they understand what's going on. There has to be. there has to be suffering that affects them. There has to be a suffering that fits their agenda of what they think suffering is. If it's not what they think suffering is, then suffering doesn't exist. So that's where we're at. Yeah, so there we go. Take this video and talk to you later, guys.